one world. That's right, I'm back again. Some people call me poet, some people call me prophet. My presentation name is not Hosea. It's a gift God gave us, man. You can't put a price on it. Take all them names, throw them away. They don't mean anything. The only name I want you to remember on this platform is the characteristics of Jesus, the knowledge of the universe and God. And that's the names I want you to remember. Now I leave now. I'm going to clean up some things because, you know, I had a couple people this morning, you know, they said they see my video. And there was things, a couple of things they need to be cleared up. And let me clear this up with you when I was talking about the tithing. What I'm telling you about the tithing is this, is that if we are the church, what I'm trying to tell you is if you see something that you know that's making the community better, that's making you become a better person, you understand what I'm saying? And making you see, good morning, things that you didn't see before. Sow there. You don't have to sow out of your head. When you sow in there, that's the presence of God. Stop looking at the people and look at the spirit. What I'm telling you is this, is if you own a building and you have such an abundance that I can come in that building and find people with holes in the bottom of their shoes, and you sitting up with all that abundance. See, this is my problem. This is the type of love that God wanted us to have. He wanted us to have the type of love that what we had, we didn't want to have more than our brother. But I see there's a lot of competition going on out here. You understand what I'm saying? It would create such a guilt in me, you understand what I'm saying, that I would be sitting up with what my brother doesn't have, and I wouldn't feel right, okay? So the whole thing is this, you know, people out here, you understand what I'm saying, and I did it, let me get on me first, you understand what I'm saying? I went around life, you understand what I'm saying, played competition with people, you understand? But that's the type of love God. That's why when He created it, He put us all down here. And what happened is the enemy slid in, and we have all this selfishness going on. Good morning. We have all this selfishness going on. That's the sin. That's the sin right there. And sin is ignorance. You understand what I'm saying? I'm sitting in a better place. That's why now you may see me one day, and because I do landscaping or whatever, I do a plethora of things. You may see me one day dressed up dirty, but this is I'm trying to show you things that people don't see. Then one day you may see me, you know what I'm saying? Because I do a lot of advertising. You understand what I'm saying? For different people. And one day you may see me, and I may be dressed up. But when you go into Rome, you understand what I'm saying? Peter looked at Jesus and said, Lord, should we pay taxes? He said, go to the river, take the coin out the fish's mouth. He said, whose face is on? He said, Caesar. He said, then render to Caesar what belongs to Caesar and give to God what belongs to God. Other words, if them people value money, give it to them. You understand what I'm saying? Because he had a message, he had to get into the city. So the prophet is subject to the prophet. In other words, when I come into another man's house, his domain, because not out of weakness, but I'm doing this because I'm trying to get something greater in. You understand what I'm saying? So that means that when I submit to those things, it's not that I'm weak. You understand what I'm saying? But I'm trying to get a message. So you might see me out here dressed up one day, and most people say, look, he think he better. No. When I go into certain offices and things, then people have a criteria you gotta meet. I can't just walk in there looking in there kind of way like, that would be like me walking up to get a job and I got a mask on, covered, you know, my face, covering my face. You know, people read you out here, even when you come out here and people get stopped by the police. It's called behavioral science. A lot of people wonder why they get stopped. And a lot of times they get stopped because the behaviors that you're exhibiting, you understand what I'm saying? So they can read that. So when you're riding down the street, you understand, you got your radio blowed up you got your radio blowed up. It's called behavioral science. You got your radio blowed up, you're leaning back. People that are going somewhere in life, they're sitting up. You understand what I'm saying? They're sitting up, they're aware of what's going on. And then people wonder why you got stopped. You understand? Because of the behaviors that you use. So when I go into certain places, I try to exhibit certain behaviors because there's things inside of me. God is trying to get me to get inside of there. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm out here early in the morning, and I'm letting y'all know, you understand what I'm saying, that, it's not about, you know what I'm saying, people one-upping each other. When you see me dressed a certain way, I dress that certain way for a reason. You understand? And if you don't know how to move through this matrix and this terrain, you will get the doors constantly slammed in your face. That's all I'm saying about the timing. You understand what I'm saying? We're supposed to be at a place, if you're sitting up with $10 billion, like you got people in the congregation, they ain't got no food in their refrigerator and all that. There's something the matter with that picture. You understand what I'm saying? And it should have been on a level to where we should have been sending people out. Churches wasn't never even supposed to get that big. What are people doing? Caught up in the world. I was caught up in the world, you know what I'm saying? 6 days a week, pick one day and go in there and get fragmented information. I'm here to give you the whole kit. I'm the whole package. You understand what I'm saying? And people discard me, and I don't care. You understand what I'm saying? Because one man's rags is another man's riches. That's why you have to become spiritually aware. So you can understand when a blessing sits up. And sometimes blessings don't show up in the form that you think they are. I used to go to people's house. You understand what I'm saying? I would talk to people, sit down. And she said, well, I've been praying to God for a financial breakthrough for so and so and so and so long. You understand? And I'm sitting there, so I start doing the grass. Yard, spring cleanup starts from $225 and up. I do the yard for $125. They're still telling me about that story. But no, you did get your breakthrough. God showed up, but he showed up. He may not show up in the form of money. And a lot of times it's because you're not going to do what you're supposed to do with the money. So he might send it in a service. You understand what I'm saying? So, like 607 say, you understand, stop playing with me. You understand what I'm saying? If you think I don't know exactly what I'm doing, you're wrong. I study life. It's like them teachers that I stand here, got them degrees. I got my degree from the Holy Spirit himself. You understand what I'm saying? So I want to give that to y'all this morning. And we're going to go right forward. We're going to start right forward with a new day. And hey, how you doing, brother? Good morning. Hey, Doc, how you doing? So we're going to start right forward with a new day. And we're going to be moving right along. You understand what I'm saying? You take pot shots at me all want. I'm going to deliver these messages. You don't see, like I said, you don't see me with no security or any of that, because my security is, I'm surrounded, you understand, by angels. You understand what I'm saying? And you don't have to believe it. You understand? But I'm telling you that. God has sent me to deliver a message, and I don't do what I do for money. That's why you look on my platform, I don't do it for money. But God provides all my needs according to his riches and glory. And that's another thing. I start to learn how to live off what I need, not what I want. I'm not trying to go out and buy the next pair of sneakers worth $600, $1,500, you understand? And if I can go get me something, you understand, as long as I look presentable, you understand what I'm saying? That's good enough for me. So I live off what I need, not what I want. You understand what I'm saying? And so it's a lot. And like I tell people all the time, an abundant man, the difference between him and a rich man is like I told you, an abundant person is a gift that keeps on giving. That's it. They may not show up, you know what I'm saying? With a lot of finances, you know what I'm saying? But them people could speak things into your life that will not only lead you to the finances, you understand what I'm saying? But show you how to have it. God did not want you to be bound. A lot of times we're bound up in these teachings that have been passed to us by other people. It's time to break that mold. You understand what I'm saying? And learn, teach people how to be free. You understand what I'm saying? I come out every day when I wake up, you know what I'm saying? The grace and mercy of God, every day I wake up, lands on me. All right, brother. The grace and mercy of God lands on me, and I appreciate it by the way I live my life. And I wasn't always that way. So that's what I'm telling you. I'm not teaching from some book or some university that somebody went up. I'm teaching by real life experience. Experience is the best teacher. So if nobody told you they love you today, I do. So let it be written. So let it be done.